Es que no apareció, no es un fantasma. Localízalo. Ay, idiota.
Overlord, this is Hunter. We're at the rendezvous, but no sign of the package.
Mr. Paez, my team's at the rendezvous, ready to get you out.
Someone tip them off. They're after me. I'm on the move.
We're at a Ghost Recon Future Soldier event here in Stockholm, and we caught up with Patrik, who's from the National Defense College here in Stockholm. And first of all, what are you doing here?
I was asked to come here and speak a little bit about reality behind the game, or how is it in reality compared to the game. So that's what I'm doing here.
As you are a teacher, you're actually using games in the education, I understand. So it's not just, you're not just here to talk about wars, that you're actually in the gaming industry as well.
Yeah, we research games and see how we can apply them in the military context, and also we develop our own games to use in the training and education of officers and soldiers.
So I understand that perhaps these kind of games don't really fit all your needs when you're teaching someone something. What differences would you say there are to those teaching tools and the commercial products that are out in the market?
Yeah, good question. We use more abstract games with more like symbols. Usually we use bigger units, and most commercial games use first-person shooters or small teams, or they have really big strategy games where you use whole armies or something like that. There are smaller commercial games that use smaller units like we do as well, but we usually can't modify them the way we want with those kind of maps and the units that we need. So
because it's perhaps not the actual shooting that's the most important part of games as a teaching tool.
Exactly, it's more the abstract thinking about tactics and strategy, and that's something you don't need the shooting for that, because you only need to present some kind of result from the different combats that occur. So and it's more how you use those different combats to reach your mission objectives. So against another opponent that tries to get his mission objectives. So that's where we're looking for than the actual shooting. But we use those kind of games as well, I know, in the military, but I haven't seen exactly how we use them.
So I noticed you sat down and played a little bit yourself, and you have, of course, a background in recon and things like that, and obviously these kind of games aren't exactly like any real-life mission. But both as a gamer and as with the background that you have, what were your impressions?
It was really fun to play, because there were the graphics and the movements and the details on all the weapons and gear were really awesome. They look really real, so that was really cool. And also the coordination between your teammates and within the team, because the small group tactics is really interesting to try to work with in this kind of game, even though, I mean, you probably wouldn't do that kind of mission in real life. I don't know, but I mean, it's had to be a game too. You have to be fun. So then you need more opponents, and I mean, yeah.
I would guess that the thing that's really different about real life and is that there are so many more variables out there. And in a game, you're always with a set number of variables. You got a few cover places. Or do you sort of, when you're in that mode, do you identify things just as if it was a game, or is it more a fluid thing out in the real world?
Interesting, because I mean, you try to identify objects ahead of you where you can take cover if you would be in a combat, or you have to think about that all the time. Even if you're on a recon mission, you have to think of what happens if I get shot at now. Where should I take cover, and from what direction if they're shooting, and so on. So in some sense you actually think like that as well, but I mean, then you have all these other things that you can't really get with the game, that you are tired, you're wet, you're cold, you're hungry, and I mean, you don't really think clear, and all that kind of it wouldn't be a fun game even. So it's hard to simulate.
So I understand you were at GDC just a week or so ago. What kind of thing were you looking at there, and sort of what kind of military application for games would you see in the future?
We were looking at different game designs and how to develop games, because that's what we do as well, and also try to follow the researchers, what kind of research they're doing about games and how to apply games in different, both in education and military practice as well. So it's a good place to just get ideas and talk to people that are involved in game design and so on. So.
Are other countries as involved in this, or are there different approaches in different countries to applicating games in the training?
I don't really know about all the different. I know in Sweden we're quite a lot ahead in using this, because we're interested. We think it's a good way of teaching things. But I know the Americans use a lot of games in their officers training, especially. So I've never been to any of those exercises, so I can't really say how they use them. But I know they use them a lot and have done for a long time as well.
Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.